红金有就能上咱爸妈给事儿东波拉严正这个我知你爸妈中的些。我等关注忙不过姐姐其实到这句全节了这是我这爸妈是的红我妈红把这个的爸妈是的红妈红把这个的爸妈是我妈红把这个的爸妈是的红我妈红把这个的爸妈是的红妈红把这个的爸妈是的红妈红把这个的爸妈我马红班这个的爸妈是的，我马红班这个的爸妈是的，我马红班这个的爸妈，我马红班这个的爸妈是的，红接拉的江苏拉的平地到所看的那边十九是那当我帮他做些完。主当专心别人家的事儿，中等的广播讲话的样拉上山路。跟个路主正业正正年的南大老师，今年东个就像是些年纪的个老王子，看到这边做了马这个门头的么的就是，这做跟老我就大这样浪就这样等送，这得去中牛毛年老理解就做中在讲马这个么是等我们。今年中在大这那么多年当中三千来说，用的那种节制都。知道这你讲这道路门些人讲我让样啦的的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎。我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎那的，我马拉巴扎。我马拉巴扎那的，最多能接近接人我这人接道路的门把老师，挂当当就上路东巴，路主不必能瓦接的所罗，鸟接全部做的你没想上的马龙全部俺家。把个人当刚战斗什么都东巴都接见了上这路。各位佛友，大家晚上好。
Good evening, everyone.
我们现在准备讲今天晚上的课，讲课。讲课之前，请发菩提心。
We are going to begin with tonight's teaching now, and please, before we do, everyone make an aspiration of bodhicitta to listen to this evening's teaching with.
我们这次的课，有3天，那3天的这个内容，都是有相后有这个联系的，前面的几天跟后面的都是一个修法的内容。
So these 3 days of teaching are a consecutive series of teachings, and the content every evening is related to the previous evening.
所以我们这个3天的课，都有连续性。
So these 3 days of teaching are all on one topic and interconnected.
那么我们每一次这个听课的时候都要发菩提心。
And every time we listen to a teaching, it's necessary that we do so with bodhicitta.
然后我们这3天讲的内容也就是菩提心。
And in fact, the content, the subject that we are talking about over these 3 nights of teaching is precisely bodhicitta.
那我们简单的说一下什么叫做菩提心。
So let's start off now by looking simply at what it is that we mean by bodhicitta.
首先我们简单的用一句话来这个描述这个菩提心的话，那菩提心就是说我们为了帮助天下所有的众生下决心自己要成佛，然后就为了成佛先学习修心这样子的发心叫做菩提心。
So, in just one sentence, it's possible for us to encapsulate bodhicitta by saying that it is the resolve to help all living beings, and in order to do this, to first attain Buddhahood. And with this aim in mind, therefore, to undertake study and practice of the Dharma. And these things together comprise the aspiration of bodhicitta.
然后菩提心就是我们大乘佛教的基础，也就是大乘佛教的灵魂。
Bodhicitta is not just the foundation of the Mahayana teachings, but also its soul.
如果我们在这一生当中能够发起菩提心的话，那这个真的是我们的人生就做到了非常非常有意义的。
If in this lifetime we are really able to generate bodhicitta, then we will have made this life of ours extremely meaningful.
那菩提心分两种菩提心，一个叫做世俗菩提心，另外一个叫做圣意菩提心。
Bodhicitta we can divide into two types, the first being relative bodhicitta and the second ultimate bodhicitta.
那么这次我们讲的这个菩提心，就是来自于这个修心七要修心七要就是一个藏传佛教里面一个非常非常重要的一个菩提心的修法。
And the bodhicitta cultivation practice that we're going to be teaching on over these 3 nights of teachings, it comes from the 7-point mind trainings. And the 7-point mind trainings are a very important bodhicitta cultivation practice in Tibetan Buddhism.
然后这个修心七要，这个里面呢有7个要点。
So within this 7-point mind training, there are 7 key points.
通过7个不同的方法来讲解菩提心的修法。
And so by means of these 7 points, bodhicitta is cultivated.
那这个修心七要是来自于阿底峡尊者的这个诀窍和教言。
And these 7 points of mind training are pith instructions or practice instructions that come from Master Atisha.
阿底峡尊者，大家基本上应该都知道的。如果不是很清楚的话，我们可以网上去搜阿底峡尊者，可以了解一下阿底峡尊者他到底是一个什么样的人。
Most of you are probably quite familiar with the Venerable Atisha. For those of you who might not be, then you can go online and learn more about him.
然后修心七要，我们这次要讲的这个修心七要也已经有英文版和这个韩文版都有。
And the 7-point mind training that we're going to be teaching is already available in English language versions as well as Chinese language versions.
因为这个修心七要在藏传佛教里面有很高很高的地位，所以整个的藏传佛教的这个教派都在讲这个修心七要。
Because of the extremely esteemed status of this teaching in Tibetan Buddhism, all schools and sects of Tibetan Buddhism similarly practice this text.
整个的藏传佛教的这些教派他们都非常非常重视这个修心七要的修法。
So all of the different lineages and schools of Tibetan Buddhism very much pay a great deal of esteem and importance to this particular set of practices.
然后阿底峡尊者他本人也非常非常的重视这个修心七要的内容。
And Atisha personally, the Venerable Atisha personally also very much regarded the content of these practices as extremely important.
阿底峡尊者他当年从孟加拉就是乘坐船到印度尼西亚去求这个菩提心的修法。
Back in the day, the Venerable Atisha took a boat from Manjula in India to Indonesia in order to seek out teachings on this practice.
他在路上就花了12个月都在海上。
And this sea voyage took 12 months to complete.
然后他找到了这个他的上师，叫做 Dharmagirdi， 叫做金州大师。那找到了以后呢，他医治了12年。在这个12年的过程当中，学什么呢？就是学这个菩提心。
And after finally finding his teacher, Dharmakirti, he relied on him for 12 years and studied with him for 12 years. And primarily, the practice that he was learning from Dharmakirti was precisely bodhicitta.
然后他回到了印度，最后就到了西藏的弘法在这个过程，他回去了以后呢，他特别的感恩他的这个金州大师这位上师。
And after returning finally to India and then going to Tibet, he continued to harbor an immense gratitude towards his teacher Dharmakirti.
阿底峡尊者他有很多上师，那么他讲他的这些上师的时候呢，除了这个金州大师 Dharmakirti 以外的这些上师，他叫这些上师的名字的时候呢，他会合掌在心口合掌，但是他不会在头顶合掌他也不会这个把帽子取下来还有这个不会流泪他一般的他的这些上师，他也是非常的感恩，但是呢，他一般说到他自己的其他的上师的时候，他只是合掌而已。
So Atisha, in fact, had many teachers, but with the exception of Dharmakirti, when he would speak of his other teachers, to whom he had a great deal of gratitude as well, he would not raise his palms to the top of his head, and he would not take off his hat, and he would not shed tears. When speaking of his other teachers, he would bring his palms to his heart in a gesture of gratitude.
然后唯一的就是他提到他的上师Dharmakirti 金州大师的时候呢，如果他有戴帽子，把帽子取下来就合掌的时候都不是心间，就和头顶合掌，头顶合掌，然后就很多时候都流泪那样子非常的感恩。
But when speaking of Dharmakirti, Atisha would remove his hat. He would not bring his palms to his head, but rather to his heart, but rather to the top of his head, the crown of his head, and he would frequently shed tears as well.
然后他的身边的这些学生问那个阿底峡尊者阿底峡尊者提到这个他的上师的时候，有些上师呢提到他们的名字的时候呢只是在心口合掌唯一这个金州大师跟都不一样。那这是为什么呢？是不是这些上师有些非常有功德，有些是不是不是很有功德问这个阿底峡尊者。
And observing this, other students in his midst asked, why is it that despite the fact that Atisha has had many teachers, that it's only in respect of Dharmakirti that he raises his hands to the crown of his head? Is this because some of his teachers possess very wonderful qualities and others don't?
然后阿底峡尊者回答说他说我这些所有的上师都是非常有功德功德的大小这个不好说都是很有功德的，但是呢他说对我来讲这个最有恩德的就是这个金州大师，因为我现在的这个自他相还的这个菩提心就是来自于这个金州大师，所以我特别感恩金州大师这个阿底峡尊者这样子回答。
And Tisha answered that, in fact, all of his teachers possess wonderful qualities. Whether greater or lesser, he was not able to comment on. Towards all of his teachers, he therefore had a great sense of gratitude. However, it was Dharmakirti among all of his teachers to whom he had the greatest sense of gratitude, and the reason was that he was the teacher who taught him the practice of cultivating bodhicitta, primarily through the exchange of self and other. And so for this reason, he was especially grateful and reverential of Dharmakirti.
然后这个菩提心它的基础就是慈悲心然后慈悲心呢离我们的生活非常非常的接近非常的接近人与人之间的关系还有很多方面菩提这个慈悲心是在生活当中非常非常有价值我们都用得上
So the foundation of bodhicitta is compassion, and compassion is something that is very close to our everyday lives. It is something that is valuable in our interpersonal relations. It's valuable in our everyday lives in a significant way.
然后大家可能应该感觉到了，应该注意到了，现在就是西方美国社会当中呢，就是最流行的就是这个东方的禅这个他们的各行各业里面呢都在学习都在这个修禅。
Many of you have also no doubt noticed that in the West, particularly in America, meditation or various forms of meditation are extremely important, and that people from all variety of backgrounds are practicing meditation.
然后这个禅的其中的一部分就是慈悲心尤其是这个自他相还的修法。
And one aspect of this meditation being practiced is compassion meditation, and in particular the exchange of self and other.
那么西方的发达国家科技经济各方面呢应该说是很发达的那么这个时候呢他们为什么用这个禅或者慈悲心呢
So why would a country like America, advanced in scientific and economic regards, be interested in the meditative cultivation of compassion?
就是因为有些事情就是科技解决不了的，有些事情就是这个经济金钱解决不了的问题，所以呢他们的学校包括这个军队、警察等等各行各业当中都非常非常重视这个禅和菩提禅和这个慈悲心的原因就是这样子，所以我们修这个禅我们佛教徒呢应该是更加的积极的去修这个慈悲心。
And the reason for this interest is precisely because scientific development and economic development is not able to address all issues and problems. And it is for this reason, therefore, that schools, police networks, the military even, that people from all variety of occupations and backgrounds are now turning to meditation, and among the various types of meditation, compassion meditation included. So if this is the case, then as Buddhists, all the more we should be committed to the task of cultivating compassion through meditation.
几百年前我们很多人的想法是很简单的，也是很幼稚的。我们认为如果有物质，如果有足够的物质的话，那可以解决我们的生活当中的所有的问题。
The ideas that we had several hundred years ago were rather simplistic and childish. That is, it was commonly felt that if we attained a certain level of material development, then all problems and challenges essentially would be solved.
然后现在就是越来越发现即使是生活的问题解决了，也就是说温饱物质方面的问题解决了，但是呢还有很多很多的问题还没有解决，所以呢物质是我们很需要的，但是呢它只能解决我们的一部分的问题，而不能解决所有的问题。
Increasingly, though, we are discovering that material development is only able to address a certain component of our needs, and whilst we very much do need to be adequate in terms of our material lives, material development in itself is only able to solve a part of our overall needs.
因为我们人什么是人？人的一部分我们人的这个一部分是精神，一部分是物质，也就是我们的身体那么人是物质和精神的一个组合体，所以因为人是物质和精神，所以它有两种不同的需求，一个是精神方面的需求，另外一个是物质方面的这个需求，所以我们人的生活就有精神的生活和物质的生活。
The reason for this is that as humans, we are made up of a material component and a mind component. We are composites of these two components, and for this reason, we have material needs or needs that relate to our material bodies, our material lives, as well as needs that relate to our minds. And so we have these two respective kinds of needs.
这两种生活当中，不管是哪一个当中缺乏了应有的东西的时候呢，然后呢，这个就是然后就让我们不幸福、不快乐也就是从某种程度上来讲，都叫做贫困。
And if we have a lack or a deficit in respect to either of these kinds of needs, it will produce a feeling or an experience of impoverishment.
可是我们以前没有那么的去关注这个精神上的贫困，我们这个贫困这两个字大家都跟物质连在一起，我们基本上跟精神没有连在一起，所以呢我们没有想到还有一个精神上的这个贫困那么这个我们什么时候发现了呢？就是因为我们物质上基本上解决了这些问题的时候，然后我们就非常清楚的发现还有一个贫困，就是精神上的贫困。
We haven't been accustomed, though, to associating the notion of impoverishment with our minds. Impoverishment has tended to be a concept that we associate to our material lives, and for this reason haven't really given much attention to the idea of impoverishment of mind up until this point. However, the reason that we now are doing so in an increasing way is that at a point where our material needs are more or less able to be addressed, it becomes very clear that we have a deficit or a lack in relation to the needs relating to our minds.
然后同样的富裕也就是一样，以前我们什么叫做富裕这基本上都是大家都认为只要有庞大的物质财富那这样子叫做富裕。但是呢我们现在就是发现其实有了物质但是如果精神上有一些该有的东西没缺乏的话，那同样的就是因为我们缺乏了一些生活的必需品，所以就是感觉不到幸福。
And it's the same in terms of prosperity. Previously, notions of prosperity were attached to having great material wealth. However, now we discover that when certain needs associated to our minds are not fulfilled, then this is also a situation of a lack of prosperity. So we now have a new understanding of prosperity that is associated to the needs of our minds as much as it is to our material needs.
那么一个人真正要达到富裕就是一个人真正就是生活上面该有的都有，所以让他要感觉幸福快乐，这样子的话，那不论是单方面的物质方面的这个财富，还有精神方面的财富，这两个都需要，而且这两个要达到一个平衡的状态，这样子才能够感觉到幸福，感觉到快乐。
If an individual is going to feel happy then and to feel that they are able to fulfill or that they have been able to fulfill everything that they need, then this cannot be achieved through in a one-sided way, that is by simply paying attention to the material or mind aspect of our needs. In fact, we have both of these different kinds of needs, and it is necessary that they exist in a relationship of balance with each other.
然后人类在2000多年前就创造了非常非常辉煌的精神的财富，然后2000多年后，也就是现在，就是因为科技发达了以后呢，就创造了非常这个辉煌的物质财富但是呢，最遗憾的是什么呢？就是我们就是有了这个物质财富的时候呢，就是过去历史上创造的这个精神方面的这个辉煌财富我们把它忽略了，忘掉了，我们没有把这两个融在一起包容这个就是最大的遗憾。
So more than 2,000 years ago, humans developed an extremely splendid prosperity of the mind, or an extremely prosperous tradition of answering the needs of the minds. And then where we are today, through relying on technology and scientific development, we have created a unprecedented material wealth. The regrettable thing is that at this time when we do enjoy unprecedented material wealth, that we haven't been able to combine it, that we have neglected this legacy of spiritual wealth that we previously possessed in the past, and have not been able to combine these two forms of wealth effectively.
就是因为我们把这两个财富没有做到平衡，或者是没有把它们做到这个圆融甚至有些人觉得这两个是矛盾的所以呢，我们今天虽然是很多人很多的人可以拥有庞大的这个物质财富，但是呢，我们的精神就是极度的空虚，所以就是有这个全世界的幸福感越来越下降，然后呢，伦理道德就是越来越没有底线然后有各种各样的这些精神上的这些疾病，也就是一年比一年多这样子的过程当中呢，我们就是感觉虽然有了物质，但是呢，人们感觉不到这个幸福感，人们越来越没有安全感，就是因为我们的这个人类的文明实际上历史上这个最早的时候创造的这个物质财富精神的财富和现在所创造的这个物质财富没有做到圆融，主要的问题就是这样子。
This, however, at present, we haven't been able to bring these two forms of wealth into balance with each other. We haven't been able to integrate them. And in the minds of some people, even, these two different forms of wealth exist in conflict with each other. So even though we do live in a time of great material prosperity, many people in their minds feel a sense of great emptiness. So senses or happiness or feelings of happiness overall in a sense of decline. Ethical behavior is also in a state of decline. Mental illness is increasing everywhere. So despite the fact that we do have all of this material prosperity, there is a deficit of happiness, a deficit of a sense of security in the minds of many people. And the primary reason for this is that as a human civilization, we have failed to properly integrate our legacies of spiritual and material wealth.
那我们作为一个佛教徒这样子的话呢，我们把这个物质财富跟这个精神的财富圆融，然后跟这个传统和现代也圆融我们比如说一个人他同时可以有很丰富的这个物质生活，同时他也可以有很丰富的精神生活，像菩提心那这个是我们的这个精神财富当中的这个最关键的一个就是菩提心。那一个人这两个都可以有的两个都我们可以用到这个生活当中和工作当中。
So it is, in fact, possible for us to combine or to enjoy both of these different kinds of wealth at the same time, to enjoy material wealth and sufficiency with spiritual wealth as well, in the same way that we would combine the traditional and the contemporary. So as Buddhists, in combining both of these forms of wealth, in terms of spiritual wealth, the most valuable asset or resource that we have is bodhicitta. It is the main thing, and it's very much for us to cultivate this and to integrate this with material forms of wealth in our lives.
好，那么我们今天就是要讲这个精神财富当中的一个非常关键的一个就是菩提心。我们今天要讲菩提心。
So of this kind of wealth, spiritual wealth or wealth pertaining to our minds, what we are going to be talking about tonight is a specific form of this spiritual wealth, otherwise known as bodhicitta.
那这次我们讲这个修心七要，我们不会一个一个字解释，我们就讲这个修心七要里面的那些大概的这个大概的内容。
So in covering the 7-point mind training, we're not going to go through the text word by word. What we're going to be doing is addressing the main concepts and ideas from the teaching.
首先学菩提心学大乘佛教意思是什么呢？这意味着什么呢？向自己宣战。
So the first thing that we need to be clear about is that being a student of the Mahayana path, what does this entail? The first thing is that being a student of the Mahayana teacher means going into battle against oneself.
向自己宣战，向自己挑战向自己作战然后呢佛陀他认为就是向外给别人向别人宣战挑战作战在这样子的过程当中获得胜利，所谓的胜利的人人类历史上有成千上万的人，但是实际上谁也没有获得真正的胜利。
So, in terms of going into battle, the Buddha considered that in terms of going to battle against external others or an external enemy, that there have been countless numbers of individuals in human history who have done this, but among those fighting against external enemies, those who have achieved ultimate victory in the process have been virtually none.
然后我们说到向自己宣战，向自己作战也就是说想跟自己斗争。这个就是在现代文化里面呢，可能我们有些人听起来可能有点别扭怎么可以向自己挑战呢？怎么可以向自己作战呢？这样子的话，就是我们不会有发展等等。我们会这样子，但是呢，实际上真正的这个自我成长就是来自于这个自我宣战，就像释迦牟尼佛一样。
So in terms of this battle against the self or this struggle against the self, many people might think in this contemporary age that how can this be a valid kind of exercise? If we battle and struggle against ourselves, then we won't be able to progress, we won't be able to develop. But in actual fact, real self-development or the real meaning of self-development is primarily related to self-battle or battling against the self.
然后这个菩提心我们刚才讲了有生意菩提心和世俗菩提心，然后世俗菩提心就有缘菩提心和行菩提心行动的行菩提心。缘菩提心这是一个法缘而已，还没有这个实际的行动。有了实际的行动以后呢就叫做行菩提心。
So as we mentioned at the beginning of tonight's teaching, there are two different levels of bodhicitta that we speak of, relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. And within relative bodhicitta, we break this further down into the aspiration of bodhicitta and action of bodhicitta. So aspiration is where we have the an aspiration, a resolve or a wish to generate bodhicitta, and action is when we actually engage in concrete conduct to bring this about.
然后这个世俗的菩提心当中的缘菩提心就是自我宣战，然后呢是自我宣战，向自己宣战宣布作战，然后呢行菩提心就是不仅仅是宣战而且开始作战。
So if we look at relative bodhicitta in these two levels, that is aspiration and action, then we can say that the level of aspiration is where we go into battle against ourselves, or we prepare to go into battle when we make the preparations, whereas action bodhicitta is where we actually start to concretely go into battle.
那我们为什么要向自己宣战？为什么要向自己作战？我们为什么不给别人宣战和作战呢？那我们在这个历史上，我们轮回了这么长时间这个成千上万年几百亿、几千亿这样子的时间。这么长的时间当中，我们一直都是向别人宣战、作战斗争。那么我们这么长时间过去了，其实什么也没有得到。所以呢，如果我们再这样子下去的话，也就是像过去一样，最终什么也得不到。所以呢，就佛告诉我们，不要再给别人宣战、作战，从现在开始向自己作战，这样子的话一定会得到实质上的胜利。
So why is it that we go into battle against ourselves rather than going into battle against external others? The reason for this is over our individual histories of millions of years spent in cyclic existence, we have been constantly engaging in battle with external others, and yet nothing has come about as a result of these efforts. So if we continue in this way, then we are going to continue to achieve nothing. And so that is why the Buddhist teachings advise us that we make ourselves the object of our battle rather than others, and that through so doing, we will be able to achieve real and ultimate victory.
然后我们这个这样子开始向自己这个作战那我们向自己的什么东西开始这个斗争呢？主要的就是对我们自己的我执我执和爱我执，就这两个那我执和爱我执这两个，什么叫做我执和爱我执呢？我执就是我们每一个人对自己的这个在乎和执着这个我们每一个人都有的是先天的都是先天的，不是我们后天学来的，是先天的我们每一个人生下来的时候就有这个我执那这个叫做我执。然后爱我执在这个上面呢加一个爱字爱我执，就是说我们不仅仅是我们认为有一个我的存在，而且我们特别的爱自己不爱别人不爱别人。所谓的爱，这个世俗的所有的这些所谓的爱，实际上它的本质上就是一个自私而已。所以我们从来没有真正的去爱过什么人所以这个时候呢我们首先要把这个自私或者是说这个我执和爱我执那要解决这个问题。
So in going into battle against ourselves, primarily what we are battling against is two things. The first being self-clinging and the second being self-cherishing. So in terms of the first, self-clinging, here we are referring to a strong sense of attachment and concern for the self or for our ego. And this is an innate thing, something that we are born with, something that every human has. It's not something that we have learned as we've grown up. It's an innate sense of attachment. And then secondly, self-cherishing, here we refer not just to a belief in the self as truly existent, but in addition to this, a very strong sense of cherishing or love for this self and not for others. And as a result of this self-cherishing, all of our worldly love that we speak of has in fact always been selfish in nature. And so that it's possible for us to say that whilst we cherish ourselves in this way, that we're never in a position to truly love others. And so it's for this reason that we have to first address these two things, self-clinging and self-cherishing.
然后我们的所有的烦恼都是来自于这个我执和爱我执有了这个我执和爱我执以后呢所有的烦恼贪嗔痴等等所有的烦恼都产生了这个我执和爱我执呢它是我们的所有的烦恼的源头。所以第一个向自己这个斗争的时候呢是首先要跟这个我执和爱我执做斗争。
And it is, in fact, these two things, self-clinging and self-cherishing, that is the source of all of our sufferings. So all of our afflictions, all of our negative emotions, our anger, our greed, our ignorance, the root cause of all of these forms of suffering is self-cherishing and self-clinging. And so this is why when we go into battle against ourselves, we first need to go into battle against these two things.
那么我们都是这个初学者，
然后我们都是凡夫，凡夫就是说普通的人那么让我们要放下自我，这个确实是不是那么容易的事情这个确实是有非常大的这个挑战性但是呢，如果我们不解决这个我执和爱我执尤其是爱我执，如果这个从本质上解决，或者是要降低它的这个程度，如果不做这件事情，那确实我们永远都没有办法这个自由，永远都没有办法解脱。
We are, of course, all beginners on the path, and all of us are ordinary people as well. And so for this reason, letting go of self, letting go of self-clinging is something that is extremely challenging to do. However, if we don't address this form of, or solve this self-clinging at its root, or at least reduce the extent to which we cherish ourselves, then we will always be in a situation of not being able to achieve freedom or liberation.
那我们的这个烦恼实际上都是这个我执它创造出来的，然后我们的所有的痛苦也是我们的我执创造出来的，然后我们做的很多很多我们不应该做的这些杀盗淫妄等等这些罪过，实际上也就是我们的我执和爱我执让我们去做的。
So our suffering, the cause of our suffering is this self-clinging. The source of all of our different forms of affliction is this self-clinging. And many of the various different kinds of negative actions that we engage in, the source of these actions is also our self-clinging and our self-cherishing as well.
这样子以后呢，我们要学这个菩提心的3种不同的这个训练的方式。那么第一个叫做自他平等。
So in terms of learning or practicing 3 cultivation methods for bodhicitta, the first one, the first practice, the first means of cultivating bodhicitta is equality of self and other.
然后第二个叫做自他相还。
The second practice is exchanging of self and other.
第三个就是自轻他重。
And the third is regarding the other as more important than oneself.
那么这3个当中呢后面的越是后面的就越难做到。
And in terms of these 3 practices, the beginning practice is relatively more easy, and the latter practice is relatively more difficult.
那么这3个说起来很容易，但是如果我们让我们去修尤其是让我们去做落实到这个生活当中，确实真的是非常不容易的。
Each of these 3 practices, just to speak about in words, they sound very simple and easy. However, actually practicing them or putting them into practice is something significantly more difficult. Especially implementing them in our everyday lives is something that is by no means easy at all.
虽然有很大的难度但是我们要相信人的这个精神完全是可以被训练的一开始的时候根本就没有办法接受的，根本就做不到的这些东西，我们慢慢的这个训练了以后呢，最后一定都能做得到的。
Even though it is difficult, it's necessary that we have a strong belief in the malleability of the mind, that we have a belief in the capacity for the mind to be trained. So things that originally are difficult for us to accept or difficult for our minds to accept, through training, it is possible for us to make adjustments to our minds.
好，今天我们在这个修行七要当中啊，我们首先就是学2句话。
So tonight in studying the 7-point mind trainings, we are going to be focusing on 2 lines from the teaching.
好，第一句话呢，就是说所有的责怪啊，就是要向对一个东西责怪啊，比如说我们平时我们的生活当中遇到了一些不满的时候呢，我们去会责怪很多的人啊，责怪人啊，责怪这个社会上的各种各样的这些事情啊，然后就是责怪自己的朋友啊，责怪这个家人啊等等啊，但是我们很少责怪自己。
So the first line or the first teaching from the 7-point mind training that we're looking at is the one that instructs us to place all blame for everything on one source. So our habit or the way that we are accustomed to acting in our lives is when unpleasant circumstances take place, we usually look to blame other people or society, social factors, our friends or our family members. Very rarely, in actual fact, do we seek to lay blame in ourselves.
然后我们认为我们的烦恼还有我们的生活上的很多的这些痛苦我们一直都认为这些都跟这些外面的东西，外面的比如说别人或者是这些社会的一些制度，还有就是反正就是所有的这些都是我们认为是来自于外面我们一直都认为这些烦恼这些痛苦是来自于外面的外面的一些东西不顺利没有得到满足，所以我现在不开心我们一直都这么认为。
The way that we usually act is when something doesn't go right in our lives, when we experience suffering or affliction, that our usual habit is to turn to assign blame on others or with others, whether it be other people or society in general. So our tendency is, if something doesn't go well, to look to these outside reasons to assign blame for the fact that things didn't go well, and to explain our unhappiness as a result of these external reasons.
那我们的烦恼，我们的痛苦实际上有没有跟外面的东西有没有关系呢？当然有关系的这个并不是说这个所有的我们的烦恼和我们的痛苦全部一切都是自己创造，跟外面一点也没有关系肯定是不是这个意思跟外面的人或者是社会各方面都有关系。但是呢，这个是个什么样的关系呢？外面的这一切都是一个让我们产生烦恼和痛苦的一个主缘而已它不是真正的因佛教就讲因和缘因是什么呢这朵花它的种子叫做因然后这个非我的土壤、时间、空间湿度、温度这叫做缘那这个过程当中，因和缘这两个当中就是发挥最大的这个作用，也就是起到决定性的作用的不是缘而是因那因就在我们自己的心里，缘就是在外面。
Of course, in saying this, it's not the case that our unhappiness has no connection whatsoever to the outside world, and that all of our unhappiness is simply produced in our own minds. Of course, our unhappiness does have things to do with other people. It does have things to do with society around us. However, the relationship between these external factors and our suffering is not one, these things are not causes. These things are not primary causes of our suffering. They are what we call conditions or subsidiary conditions. In Buddhism, we speak of causes and conditions. We distinguish between the two. So an example of a cause would be a seed of a flower seed, whereas conditions would include things such as fertile soil, time, space, moisture, etc., that enable the flower to grow. However, the main determining factor in whether the flower does grow into a flower or not is the seed, not those other conditions that we mentioned. So in respect of our own suffering, we can say that the cause lies in our mind and not in these external factors.
如果我们自己的心里没有这个因不存在或者是我们把我们自己心中的这个因去掉了以后呢，那外面再有再多的这个缘再多的缘也根本就没办法让我们产生烦恼和这个烦恼所导致的痛苦。
So if we had no cause of suffering in our mind, or if we were able to eliminate this cause, then regardless of how severe the external conditions were around us, they would not be able to produce in us suffering or the pain that goes along with suffering.
比如说一个非常简单的例子在现实生活当中让我们特别不开心的有一个是什么呢？别人来说我尤其是当面说我就是侮辱我的人格就是说我侮辱我人格的这样子的话这个是我们最不能接受的，让我们最烦恼的一个这样子的事情那么如果我们详细的观察一下他怎么侮辱了我的人格，他怎么骂我了，他怎么说我了，我们观察的时候呢，确实他什么也没有说。
So we can take one example from our everyday lives. The thing that makes us most unhappy probably is when people criticize us, and especially when they criticize us to our faces, insulting our characters or our integrity. This is something that we find extremely difficult to accept. However, if we examine in a very minute and detailed way how it was that the other person criticized us or insulted us, how it was they did this, what it was they said, etc., we will discover, in fact, that they didn't say anything, in fact, to criticize us.
那我们怎么说，怎么知道他什么也没有说呢？我们所谓的骂比如说我们的这个上级，比如说老板就是骂我，或者是我们的同事说我等等这个时候呢，我们非常生气那我们仔细的观察的时候呢，什么叫做骂人那我们当然会说我明明听到他骂我了，他就是说我的坏话我明明听到他说我的坏话那他怎么说了这个我的坏话呢实际上我们肯定会说这个我明明听见了那 我们听见的这个声音啊，其实是不是他说的？他从来都没有说过什么，这是我们的大脑里面的一个画面而已。实际上他没有说，他什么都没有说。那他没有说，我怎么听到了呢？这是他的这个喉咙啊，就是震动了一下震动了一下以后呢，就在这个周边，他嘴巴周边的这个空气里面就产生了一个叫做压力波，然后这个压力波呢就传到我的耳朵里面，就震动了一下我的耳膜，仅此而已真的是没有了。但是那不只是我明明听到他骂我呀，我听到了这个声音呢，声音科学家都告诉我们，声音就在你自己的大脑里面，他的喉咙里面永远都不会出声音的。
Of course, if it's, let's just say, our boss at work or our workmates that say something critical that makes us feel angry, if we were to ask, well, what was it? How was it that they criticized you? The answer we would say would be, well, of course, I heard them. What they said of me was extremely critical. How was it critical? Well, it was critical in exactly what they said. And I heard it. I heard precisely what they said. However, in fact, when we examine this more closely, we can actually establish that nothing, they never said anything to us. And that what in actual fact really happened was that they experienced some vibrations in their throat. This created some pressure waves in the surrounding air and atmosphere, that these waves traveled to my own ears and vibrated the membranes and nerves in my ears, and that this, in fact, produced a sense of sound, but this was not one that was produced in the throat of the person, but rather in my mind, as science tells us. So this is, in fact, what happened.
可是我们把我们自己大脑里面的这个画面，我们从来都不知道这个画面在我自己大脑里面，我们以为是他说的这个声音是从他的嘴巴里面出来的，可是他的嘴巴里面呢什么也没有出来，就是一个压力波而已，刚才我们讲的。但这个压力波呢我们也看不见听不着只是这个空气的压力波就接住了一下我的耳膜而已这是一个物质上的一个接触而已。实际上我们没有把它当做一个什么骂人侮辱人这样子的东西的话，那它根本不是什么，它就是一个物质而已。它这个叫做声波，实际上也不是声音的波，实际上就是这个空气的波那空气的波它也不会侮辱我的耳膜空气波怎么侮辱耳膜呢那么这个实际上这个整个的过程就是一个这样子的过程。实际上真正的声音在我们自己的这个大脑里面，但是我们永远都不知道然后我们特别的生气，我们认为这个就是他说出来，就是他嘴巴里面出来的这样子的坏话，然后我就接受不了，立即就是火冒三丈这些都不是，实际上都是一个错觉而已，但是我们不知道。
So, let's see. In fact, these critical words are simply an appearance in our minds. Even though we regard these critical words as having been spoken from the mouth of the other person, in actual fact, all they are is a pressure wave or an atmospheric wave that makes contact with our ear membranes, and it's nothing more than this material contact. And if we didn't consider these words in our own minds as insulting or critical, then they would not be anything more than an atmospheric wave. And an atmospheric wave in itself is not possible of causing insult. So this is the way that the entire process works. The idea that a critical comment was made is an idea that we have in our brain brain, but in actual fact, this is not something that is the case in reality, but on account of attributing the idea that these words are critical and insulting to the sound that we perceive, we manifest anger, we become very enraged, but in actual fact, this is just a case of mistaken perception or confused perception.
那么这是我们听到了别人说我们的坏话，然后就是我们特别生气，在这个过程当中起到了这个决定性的作用的，就是有2个第一个，我们把我们自己大脑里面的这个画面以为是他说出来的，是他的嘴巴里面出来的一个声音这是第一个原因。如果我们不认为这是他说出来的话，那我们也不会这么生气。第一个第二个，我们又把它当作是来侮辱我的，然后我们又认为有一个我的存在有了这个我的存在，然后呢，我们把这个的声音是以为是他说出来的不知道在自己大脑里面。然后第二，我们也不知道所谓的我这是一个抽象的概念我们也不知道，也只是这个所谓的我是一个抽象的概念，然后我们认为我是一个实实在在存在的东西那么从他的嘴巴里出来的这个声音就侮辱了我实实在在存在的自我然后这样子2个错误的理解就加在一起，然后让我们特别特别的生气实际上这个过程当中呢，真正的让我们生气的，让我们产生烦恼的，不是他的声音，没有声音是我自己的错误的理解。
So the fact that these critical words make us feel so angry, there are 2 main key determining factors in this process. And the first of these is that we regard the sound that was uttered as having been spoken from the other person. If we didn't regard it as coming from them, then we wouldn't feel as angry as we do. And the second thing is that we regard this sound as insulting. And insulting to who? That is insulting to ourself. So we regard ourself as an inherently existing thing. And so we have these 2 things, a sound spoken by another and spoken in relation to ourselves, a self, which is in fact just an abstract concept. However, we don't regard ourselves as an abstract concept. We regard ourselves or the self as something that truly, really inherently exists. So when these 2 things come together, these 2 factors or these 2 aspects, believing the sound to be really spoken by another and then insulting a self that truly exists, these 2 mistaken understandings combine to produce a very strong sense of anger in ourselves. But in actual fact, the source of the anger and the source of the suffering isn't the sound and it isn't the self, but rather our twofold mistaken understanding.
如果我们没有这样子的错误的理解的话那么他的这个就是因为他的喉咙的震动产生的这个压力波，这个空气的波只能震动一下我们的耳膜而已，根本就不能震动我们的心。但是因为我们把它当作是一个他说出来的话，这样子以后呢，然后这个就不仅仅是震动了我们的耳膜，而且就震动了我们的心，波动了我们的心，而且这个波动的幅度相当的大。那么这个当中起到最关键的作用的，我们现在知道了，不是这个声波，而是我们的心。
So if these 2 types of confused understanding or mistaken understanding were not present, then at most we would just have a vibrating vibrating vocal cords producing an atmospheric wave reaction, and this would at most only have the capacity to stimulate or tickle our ear membrane. It would have no capacity to affect or to disturb our minds. However, because we regard these words as truly uttered by another person, they not only affect our ears, they also affect our minds, and the level that they affect our minds is extremely strong. It causes great disturbance to us. However, we can understand that in actual fact, the main factor or the main reason that we feel this disturbance is not the sound itself, but the response we have in our minds.
那圣旨和成就之和我们凡夫我们普通人的差别是什么呢？圣旨别人就是如果说他的坏话，那么这个空气压力波只能震动了一下他的耳膜，然后呢对他的内心是一点影响都没有根本就震动不了他的心，只是震动一下耳膜因为它的耳膜也是物质构成的，所以这个空气压力波来了以后呢也会震动的，但是呢它不会震动到他的心。为什么呢？他不认为这个声音是他说出来的，然后呢他也不认为有一个可以被骂的这个自我，他认为这个自我实际上就是一个虚拟的东西，是一个抽象的概念，没有一个真实的东西，所以他就不会震动到他的心。
So the main differences between realized ones and sages and ordinary people is that for realized ones, scolding or critical words, these sounds are at most only able to stimulate their ears slightly. They're not able to cause any effect or any ripple to their minds. And the reason for this, the reason that such words cause no effect to the minds of a realized or awakened person is that, first of all, they don't believe that the sound was spoken by an other. And then secondly, there is in their minds no self to be scolded or insulted. In their understanding, the self is illusory, it's abstract, it's not inherently existent.
然后我们凡夫就不一样了那凡夫呢，我们就不仅仅是震动了我们的耳膜也震动了我们的心那比如说我们一个圣者一个凡夫在一起然后呢有一个人同时来骂这两个人那么这个人说的话都是一样的但是呢圣者这个他只能震动一下他的耳膜而已，然后呢他对他的内心不能造成任何的影响但是另外一个凡夫就不一样了，凡夫他不仅仅是震动了他的耳膜，特别尤其是震动了他的心然后就是特别的这个生气然后他又去骂别人有可能去打就是产生这些行为那么两个人同时有一个人就是被骂，那为什么有这么大的区别呢？因为圣者他没有他把这个过程都很清楚因为他悟了，所以呢影响不了他那我们凡夫就不一样因为我们在这个过程当中有太多的我们自己的错误的理解，因为这个错误的理解这些错误的理解，然后就让我们非常的不开心非常的难受，然后就是这个去打人骂人就产生这些行为这个在这个过程当中我们可以仔细的去看看大家去观察一下到底这个当中产生这个烦恼的主要的原因是什么呢当然不是这个空气压力波，如果是主要的原因是这个压力波的话，那圣者他也会生气的 啊，但是他没有生气啊，只是我生气而已，他没有生气，那我就发现主要的原因不是这个压力波，而是我自己的这个错误的理解啊。那这样子一观察，实际上啊，我们应该责怪谁，非常非常的清楚的。
So, an ordinary being in this situation, however, would feel, obviously, their ear membranes would be stimulated by the critical words, but primarily it would be their minds that were affected. They would feel a strong sense of anger, and as a result might lash out at others verbally or physically, manifest these negative kinds of behavior. So how do we account then for this big difference between the different responses of an awakened person, a realized person, and an ordinary being? The two people, they're both together. Let's say they're both being scolded in the same way. The same words are being said to them. Why is it that their reactions are in fact so different? Why is it that the awakened or realized person, in fact, is not ruffled by the process at all? The reason for this is that the realized person understands the process that is taking place, understands the nature of this process, the attributes of this process, whereas the ordinary being, given their mistaken and confused understandings, feels extremely unhappy, and due to this sense of unhappiness, therefore adopts all kinds of negative responses in the situation. If we pay attention to this, it's possible for us to see very clearly what the key reason for suffering is. It's very clear that it isn't the atmospheric wave that is producing the response of suffering in the person. If this were the case, then the awakened person would also be angry too. However, they are not. They are not the least affected by the critical words. So from this, we can therefore see that the main reason, or the key reason, in fact, for the response of suffering is the mistaken or confused understanding on the part of the ordinary being, and we can therefore see where it is that we need to lay blame.
好，在这个时候呢，如果我认为对方在骂我，然后我生气，然后我又去骂别人那这样子骂来骂去，然后再严重一点的话呢，就是打来打去然后就是杀来杀去，就是人类历史上这样子那这个永远都没有一个真正的这个胜利者我们从佛教的角度讲六道轮回，那么这个轮回，比如说我们这一生去杀别人，那么下一世呢，因为我要承受这个果报别人来杀我，那么这样子杀来杀去，永远都是没有停止的。但是如果有一天我们知道这个所谓的这个骂人，实际上不是我自己第一个声音，是我自己大脑里面的画面它不是别人的是我自己大脑里面的这个画面。第二然后呢我实际上这个自我也没有一个这样子的自我的存在，这是一个抽象的概念。如果我没有这种概念的话呢，那也不存在所谓的骂。那如果我有一天真正的这个明白了这个道理的时候呢那么这个时候呢，人骂我那我不骂人，那这样子以后呢，那么我永远都是这样子的话，那人也不会永远来骂你这样子以后呢，这个杀来杀去，打来打去，骂来骂去，这个就是停滞了停滞了以后呢，我们双方都真正的获得了胜利那这个就是佛给我们一个获得胜利的一个方法这叫做真正的最终两方面都是真正的这个胜利者那么打人、骂人、杀戮，所有的都是永久的停止，能够永久停止的方法就是这样子。
So if, however, we respond to critical words in a critical way ourselves by also criticizing others, by physically lashing out, in worst case scenarios by killing others, then when this cycle of retribution continues, there in fact is no one in this who can be considered victorious. And from a Buddhist perspective, given the 6 realms of cyclic existence, when we take the life of another, it's inevitable that we must bear the karmic consequence of this action, and this kind of cause and effect and action and consequence is an endless cycle. However, if one day it is possible for us to realize that sound is just but a perception in our own mind and that there is no inherently existing self, then we would be able to realize that if these are not there, then when people say critical things of us, then there would be no responding, there would be no negative retribution. And since this would in fact enable us in the long time to stop the vicious cycle whereby critical words and physical violence, etc., continue endlessly. And in ceasing these kinds of negative cycles, finally, then everyone in question would be in a position to achieve an ultimate victory. And so what the Buddhist teachings provide us is a method for us to achieve this victory. And this is a victory ultimately not just for the self, but also for other as well. So it's very much a two-sided victory.
声音是我们自己的大脑里面的画面，这个是科学家说出来的科学家发现了这个真理但是呢，如果我们去骂这位科学家，他肯定会生气的那为什么他会生气呢？就是理论上他知道了，但是科学家没有把这个理论跟修行连在一起，他没有把这个用到修心上来控制自己的情绪所以呢，他理论上知道，但是没有用的那佛教很早以前就知道这个道理，然后佛教呢把这个理论这个道理跟修心连在一起，然后通过这个理论来这个训练自己，控制自己的情绪。所以这两个理论是一样的，但是两个结果是不一样的。因为为什么结果不一样呢？因为科学家他没有想到要修心那佛教就是为了修心，所以这个结果不一样。
So that sound is but a perception in our brains, is something that scientists have proven. This is a scientific fact. However, if we were to say critical things to a scientist, they would surely still get angry. And the reason for this is that even though they understand in theory that sound is only a perception in the mind, they have not integrated this into practice in their lives. There is no connection between their theoretical understanding and their practice or implementation in their lives. So their theoretical understanding of this fact isn't able to be brought into their lives in a way to help them control their emotional states. Buddhism, however, had a theoretical understanding of this a long time ago, and as well as in addition to this theoretical understanding, also sought to integrate it through practice, so that people could train themselves and thereby control their emotions. And so we can therefore say that while science and Buddhism both agree on the principle that sound is but a perception in the mind, the results of this knowledge is quite different. And the main reason for this is the Buddhist emphasis on integrating this theoretical knowledge through actual experiential practice.
好，那么比如说我们做了一场噩梦然后呢梦见很多非常恐怖的这个景象还有我们遇到了很多的这个不公平的待遇就受到了这个挫折那这样子以后呢我们这个时候呢我们应该这个责怪什么人？责怪谁呢？
So let's say we're having a terrible nightmare and we encounter all kinds of terrifying things, or we encounter extremely unjust circumstances or other obstacles in our lives. Who should we blame for these things?
比如说我们做了一场梦很多人来骂我，然后呢很多人来打我，然后呢就我遭遇了很多的这个不公平的待遇等等这样子的话呢我们应该怪谁呢？
So if all of these things are happening actually in the dream, a nightmare where people are criticizing us, punching us, we're being treated in a very unjust way, who should we blame for all of this?
大家说应该怪谁呢？怪自己那我在这个我受到了这个种族歧视，然后呢我又受到了这么多的不公平的待遇，还是怪我自己吗？
So everyone says we should blame ourselves, but how can this be? We're the recipient of ethnic discrimination and all kinds of other unjust treatment, and you're saying that we should blame ourselves?
是不是怪我自己
Should we really blame ourselves?
真的怪我自己为什么呢？梦是自己做的，因为梦里面就没有一个真正的人来歧视你的，所以是自己做的，所以就是要怪自己，是这个道理对吧？对，应该是的，对。
So yes, we should be blaming ourselves, and the answer was given. The reason that we should be blaming ourselves is because that we are the ones who are dreaming, and then Kemple just followed up by saying, and also because the person who is dreaming, the one who is dreaming, is in fact not truly existent, and so therefore that is why we would blame ourselves for our dreams. Is this not the case?
在我们的现实生活当中，或者是我们现有的这个对世界的这个了解的过程当中这个肯定是说不过去的。我是这个受害者那么最后所有的这个事情都要怪我这样子的话，大家觉得这个更不公平了，这样子但是如果我们就是往再深一点的这个地方去思考的话呢，确实也是这样子。刚才我们已经发现了这个声音这个问题上已经发现了，如果我们没有把它当作是他说出来的声音的话，那我也不会生气的。如果我不生气的话，那我也不会因为生气而这个痛苦等等都不会有的，后面的事情都不会发生的。所以确实这个道理就是在这个往深的方面，稍微比较深一点的方面去想的话呢，确实是这样子比较浅的这个表面的，也就是我们的现实生活当中来讲，那这个确实是说不过去了但是呢再往深一点的方面讲，确实就是这样子。
Of course, in our normal everyday lives, to say that as the victims of a certain kind of maltreatment or abuse, that in addition to already being the victim of mistreatment, that we should then blame ourselves for everything. How could this be the case? How could this possibly be true? This seems to be doubly unfair. First, we are the victim, and then we should blame ourselves for everything. On the surface, we can say that, yes, this this does seem to be unfair and unsustainable for this reason. However, if we do look a little bit more deeply, we can see that in actual fact, we ourselves is the one to blame. And the reason for this we saw before with the example of sound waves and insulting words. If we didn't regard the sound in question as insulting, we wouldn't feel angry, therefore we wouldn't experience suffering, and therefore the various negative consequences that came after this wouldn't have occurred either. So even though we can see on the a sort of a more superficial reading or a reading that might correspond with our normal reading in our everyday lives would see us as victims who have been mistreated by external others. When we look at it more deeply, we can see that this isn't the case.
好，这样子以后呢，这个作为一个修行人来说呢，那就他就这些解决的这些方法就不会到外面去寻找那就是这个所有的问题，他认为从自己的内心当中可以解决那我自己的内心当中解决了以后呢，就是社会上的这些各种各样的比如说种族歧视还有这个各种各样的不公平的待遇等等，这些社会制度的这些很多的问题，它是存在的。但是虽然是存在这些东西，但是这些东西呢，不能影响到我，不会影响到我。比如说有些人的这个有人来骂我的时候比如说我们有2个人，那我是一个凡夫，那么我旁边还有一个圣者那有人来骂我们2个人的时候呢，那么对这个圣者，对这个成就者来说那么那个人骂我们2个那个人的喉咙仍然是在震动那么他的这个嘴巴边不断的在产生这个空气压力波但是呢对他来说，这个其实是存在和不存在都是一样，对他一点影响没有，只是对我有影响而已。所以他是从内心当中解决了，所以这个问题还存在，但是呢对他没有影响这是佛陀教我们的一个解决问题的一个方法。
From the point of view of a practitioner of Buddhism, we seek to solve problems by not turning to the external world, but rather to address challenges and problems at the level of our minds. So in terms of social issues, circumstances of unfairness and injustice, etc., even though they may still exist as a practitioner addressing things primarily at the level of our minds, they won't affect us in our minds. And so we might have a situation where an awakened person is being insulted, is being criticized, but from their point of view, all that they see in terms of the person criticizing them is vocal cords in the other person that seem to be continually vibrating and atmospheric waves continually rippling in their direction. From their point of view, whether this is happening or not happening, it doesn't make too much of a difference. So this means that the problem might still be there in the external world, and yet we go about addressing things at the level of the mind. And this is one method for addressing suffering that the Buddhist teachings provide us.
那这样子我们是不是把自己的内心当中的问题解决了以后呢，是不是我们就不需要去调整这个社会上的各种各样的这些问题呢？那当然不是了，就是如果证悟了就可以不管这些事情但是呢毕竟我们这个社会上有多少人证悟就这么几个人才证悟，其他人都没有证悟。那没有证悟的话，那我们外面的这些事情呢还是要调整如果不调整的话呢，那就是我们反复还是，虽然我们已经知道了这个声音在我的脑海当中但是有人骂我的时候呢，我们还是不会 不会开心的我们还是会生气的，包括科学家也好，我们学佛的人也好，都是一样的，因为我们的修心还不到位这两个，比如说到外面去，在社会上寻找这个解决问题的这个方法也是需要的，对多数的人来说都是需要的。但是呢，如果一个真正的一个修行人的话，那这个我们到社会上去再调整，再怎么样也好，这些问题历史上人类历史上没有解决，那么只要人存在，就烦恼存在，我执、自私这些都存在。那么这些都存在的话，那这些一些片面的这些东西呢，也会存在的。所以这个我们到外面去想调整，这个永远都是没完没了的。所以呢，还不如在自己的内心当中解决问题。那这是佛陀的方法。
Does this mean then that once we have addressed the source of our suffering in our own minds, that we don't care whatsoever for the situation in the external world? This is not what is being said at all, even though it is said that after one attains enlightenment, that one is in a position to therefore act in the external world. After all, we know that the number of awakened beings is, after all, very small, and therefore it is necessary that we do make adjustments in the external world. It's necessary that we still do act in this way. The reason being that even though ordinary beings may have a theoretical understanding, may develop an understanding that these sound waves are merely a perception in the brain, nevertheless, when they are criticized and when they are insulted, they still feel a sense of anger. And this is the case of whether they are scientists or even Buddhists. And the reason is that our practice is not up to standard. So for the vast majority of people, making adjustments to the external world is still a needed and valid way to address situations of suffering. However, to a true practitioner, it must be said that historical problems in the history of human civilization have never departed from self-clinging, selfishness, suffering, and so on. And so for these reasons, prejudices and partialities will always continue to exist. So long as there are humans, these problems will always be there. And so therefore our attempts to intervene in the external world to solve them will also be endless as well. And so given this to be the case, intervening in our minds in an internal fashion would seem a preferable approach. This, at any rate, is the approach that the Buddhist teachings provide us with.
我们刚才也就大家回答了，比如说我们在梦里就是受到了挫折，那么这个最终这应该是怪谁？就是要怪自己。为什么呢？因为这个整个的梦里面的一切都是自己创造出来的，所以呢要怪的话那就只能怪自己。那在现实生活当中呢，我们大家都认为不是这样子的是有很大的这个区别从表面上看起来确实是有很大的不一样的地方。生活当然不像梦这两个有很大的区别。但是如果我们不停留在这个表面的现象，我们把突破了这个表面的这个层面，然后再往深一点的地方去思考的话呢，那么就是我们刚才就就发现声音实际上是我们就一直都认为是我们认为是别人说出来的别人的声音，但是这个所谓的声音在这个世界上除了我们自己的大脑里面的东西以外没有了那么这样子，那我们的眼睛看到的也会不会是这样子那我们最终我们的5个感官所接触到是会不会都是这样子如果都是这样子的话，那确实是 都是自己创造出来的。那么自己创造出来的这个世界里面有什么东西，那最终只有后果自负。
So we started off with the example of the dream, and if in a dream we were to encounter all kinds of negative setbacks or negative situations, who would we ultimately have to blame for these? And we established that we would only have ourselves to blame, given the fact that everything we encounter in the dreamscape is generated or created by ourselves. Even though we can accept this in relation to the example of the dream, we often feel that in relation to our actual real lives that things are very different. And certainly when we look at it on the surface, there would seem to be a very big difference between dreams and our real lives. However, if we don't remain at a superficial level of understanding but actually go deeper in our analysis, then it is possible for us to understand and appreciate that this sound that we usually regard as spoken by others is but a impression or a perception that is generated inside our brains, and that it doesn't inherently exist outside of our minds. If we accept then that sound is something that doesn't exist outside our minds, then we can then move on to our eyes. Is it the same for everything that we perceive with our eyes? And if it is the case that everything we see with our eyes or perceive with our eyes is simply generated in our mind, then we can also deduce that the same is the case for the rest of our senses. And then we ultimately reach a conclusion that in fact everything we perceive is in fact self-generated. And if in fact everything is self-generated or self-created, then ultimately there is only one person we have to blame for it all.
我们所有的凡夫都是一样的，我们都认为这个现实生活很重要对我们凡夫人来说呢实际上也是很重要然后呢我们也会想我要去赚很多的钱买更大的房子，开更好的车，然后要买很多很多的奢侈品，这些对我们来说也很重要，很多人是这么认为是没错，这个对于很多人来说也是很重要的。但是呢也许我们如果再往深一点的方面去思考一下的话，那么有可能我们可以接触到一个真正的更重要的一个世界有可能接触到一个更重要的世界，这个真的是有可能了。所以呢大家我们可以去赚钱，可以去生活，可以去工作，都可以，但是呢有一部分的时间安排在寻找另外一个世界寻找另外一个这个生活，寻找另外一个解决问题的方法，我觉得这个确实也是非常非常重要我们每一个人都有这样子的这个机会都有的但是我们能不能珍惜这个机会呢？最终没有人给我们安排，只有自己决定。所以生活对我们来讲都很重要，但是呢除了这个以外，我们还也许会有一个更好的生活。所以这个今天我们听了这个课以后呢这是给大家的一个功课希望大家思考一下，会不会有另外一个世界这个声音我们一直从小到现在我们认为是他说出来的声音但是现在我们发现确实不是那么这个就是一个很意外的这个我们这是科学的科学家告诉我们的，没有错的，佛教也就更早以前就讲过了，所以佛学科学都告诉我们这是真理，所以呢应该是没有错的那么既然这个是没有错的话，那么对我们来说这就是一个非常非常意外的事情那么 在我们的生活当中，我们的感官的这个认识的这个世界的这个过程当中，还会不会有这更多的意外啊？这个真的确实是有必要去思考。
So for ordinary people, it's the same for everyone. Our real lives, our everyday lives, are very important to us. Making money, most of us or many people are concerned about making money, buying a bigger apartment, buying a better car, purchasing luxury items, etc., etc. These things are important to a lot of people. However, perhaps if we are able to go deeper and we might discover, in fact, a world that is more important than this. That is a world where we can still make money, we can still live our lives, but one where we are able to dedicate some time in our lives, to allocate some time in our lives for the discovery of this other world, for the discovery of an other life or an alternate life and an alternate way for solving problems of suffering in our life. This is in fact extremely important that we do allocate some time in addition to living our lives as we do to the discovery of this alternate world and alternate life. It's something that everyone has the opportunity to do. However, whether or not we cherish this opportunity, we seize it, we make the most of it, this is not something that anyone else can decide for us. It's ultimately up to ourselves whether or not we take the opportunity. So, yes, our lives as we currently live them are important, but it is possible that we might discover even a life or a way of living that is even more important than this. And so, in respect of this, I'd like to give everyone a homework task. That is to consider whether there is another world or there could be another world. So as we have discovered tonight, this sound that we always believe to have been spoken by another, we know is in fact not. It is a perception in our minds. This is something that science tells us. It's something that Buddhism tells us. So we can probably accept it on this basis. If this extraordinary, this is an example of one extraordinary and surprising revelation. There may in fact be more surprising and extraordinary revelations. So this is something that I would urge everyone to give consideration to, this potentiality or possibility of another world beyond that of our common sensory perceptions.
不管我们在这个社会上扮演了什么样的角色从佛教的角度来讲，我们每一个人真的是非常非常幸运的，就是因为有这样子的机会去思考因为我们有这样子的智慧可以去思考那这个是非常难得的机会，所以佛教里面呢，经常都在讲人生难得经常都讲。那为什么人生有那么难得呢？这个并不是说因为人有很多很多的这个比如说吃的、穿的、用的有很多这方面的选择它不是这个意思，它就是说人有很多的可以有很多的追求有这个机会人就有很多，比如说我们可以成佛，可以去成为阿罗汉，可以去成为这个超越这个六道轮回等等，有很多这样子的选择，所以有这样子的选择的这个机会不是很多的不是很多，所以呢，佛教讲人生难得，确实也是这样子，所以我们不管怎么样，这一生是非常大家都是非常不容易的我们为什么有一个这样子的机会呢？这就是因为我们是不是偶然的机会，就是因为每一个人在多世累劫当中行善积德， 然后就是换来了今天的一个这样子的这个结果。那么这个结果是很不容易的，大家要珍惜，要去学一学这些佛教的智慧有可能我们真的可以所有问题就是在我们自己的内心当中就一下子全部可以解决所有问题解决的方法就在我们自己的内心当中能够找到，这个非常有可能。
Regardless of what our individual social identities are, or the roles that we play in our everyday lives, from a Buddhist perspective, each and every one of us is extremely fortunate. And the reason for this is that we have an opportunity to consider these kinds of questions, that we are in possession of the necessary wisdom to be able to reflect on these kinds of important questions. And this is in fact very rare, and this rareness is something that Buddhism often speaks about in terms of its the frequent mention of the rareness and the preciousness of human life or human rebirth or human existence. And the reason that we talk about the rareness and preciousness of a human life or a human rebirth is not on account of the fact that as humans we're able to eat all kinds of different things and wear all kinds of different clothes and use all types of different products, but because we are able to pursue a variety of different goals, that the pursuits available to us are very many. For example, we have the choice to pursue the attaining of Buddhahood. We have the choice to pursue transcending cyclic existence, and we have the choice to pursue arhatship as well. So it's on account of these choices that we have to us that this human life of ours is extremely rare and extremely precious. It's not one that is easily come by at all. It's not one that is random either. The fact that all of us are here in a human rebirth is on account of positive action accumulated over the course of many previous existences and much merit accumulated over this course of time too. And this human rebirth that we have is the consequence of this past positive action. So it's extremely necessary that we cherish this human life that we have, and do so by studying the wisdom of the Buddhist teachings. And by doing so, it is highly possible that we might discover that it is possible to solve all of our sufferings at the level of our own minds.
好，我们现在就是今天讲的这个课再总结一下总结一句，可以总结到一句话，这本身这个修心七要里面本来就是一句话那一句话就是说所有的问题要怪自己，要怪自己那这个我们刚才已经讲了，因为我们做了梦，然后就在梦里面呢，我们就是梦到自己有很多人来骂我打我，或者是自己受到了很多的这个挫折。那么这个如果我们把梦当做一个真实的世界来看的话，那当然不能怪我，要怪这些人有错但是如果这个我们要把这个问题要追究到最原始最根本上去看的话，那这个就是一个自己创造出来的这个世界。如果我自己对这个世界没有那样子的这个错误的理解的话，那么这些都不会有的。所以呢，最终还是要怪自己。那怪什么呢？就是怪我自己理解错了这个错误的理解。所以我们现在怪我自己也是没有用的。实际上我们首先要知道这个，知道了以后呢，我们要找到一个解决问题的方法，光是怪也是没有用的那解决问题的方法是什么呢？错误的理解可以什么东西可以解决呢？那就是需要智慧需要智慧。那我们要学习修心，要寻找一个更好的这个智慧。那么这个智慧就是作为一个我们的人生的指南这样子的话，我们可以找到一个更好的生活的方式就是这样子。
So it's possible to sum up tonight's teaching in one sentence, and the teaching or the lines from the 7-point mind training are just one sentence lines. And this line is that we should place all blame with oneself, to place all blame on oneself. And of course, if someone is speaking critical words to us, if we regard these words as and this world as really and truly existent, then of course it should be the other person is the obvious one who should be blamed. However, if we really examine this more deeply at its most fundamental level, then we can appreciate in actual fact that this world of critical words, etc., is one that we have created and fabricated ourselves, and that without our confused perception and mistaken perception, it wouldn't be possible for it to come about. So as a result of this, we see that ultimately it is necessary for us to blame ourselves, that we're the only ones who can be blamed. But when we say to blame oneself, really what we're talking about is to blame our own confused understanding or mistaken understanding. But really to blame ourselves or to blame this understanding is not enough. First of all, we need to understand that this is what we are doing, and then understanding that we habitually understand things in a confused way, we need to go about solving the problem. So if the problem is mistaken or confused understanding, this is able to be addressed or solved through the cultivation of wisdom, and this can be achieved through the study and the practice of the Buddha's teachings. And it is by discovering this superior wisdom that we may be able to discover an entirely new and better way of living.
好，我们最后做一个回向回向就是我们把今天的这个听经闻法的功德分享给天下所有的众生，然后愿天下所有的众生以我们的功德能让他们健康长寿幸福快乐，很快就能够超越生死轮回也发这样子的心，然后大家做回向。
So we are just going to end the teaching now by dedicating our merit from listening to this teaching this evening. And in doing so, we make a strong wish that all beings on the strength of this merit may achieve temporary health and happiness and ultimately transcend the sufferings of cyclic existence.
Sonam de damja zambanya domne ni be jana banje yega na je walong zhe bai zhe bin zo lin zhou a zhou re xiu om a hong ban zhen ge zhen ban ma se de hong om a hong ban zhen ge zhen ban ma se de hong om a hong ban zhen ge zhen ban ma se de hong。谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛，大家晚安。